Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Yes, what's going on, everyone? I want to make sure I can be heard loud and clear. You guys hear me okay? You guys hear me okay? Please let me know. Give me a bit of feedback in the chat room if you can hear me before I move on. What's going on, everyone, in the chat room coming up? I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. That goes fast as always. Great day for me today. Back on the option train. I love playing earnings, the incredible volatility that comes when you have earnings season. And nice little game today. I posted that on Twitter as well as my Instagram. $1,400. I can't wait to play tomorrow. McDonald's, wherever that ends up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. That's the direction I'm going to play in because that's just it's money. I mean, this is the time that, whatever happens in the morning, after an earnings announcement, you can pretty much be assured it's going to go in that direction for the rest of the day. So if it's a beat, it opens up, continues to go higher, it'll keep going higher. Unless it's at some incredibly high overextended level. Early caller. Where is that at? Oh, just missed you. 845. I think that's you, Ken. Only got one ring, so call me back. Shout out to the people in the chat room. Relative 9696. Mike Holbrook, Kenneth Rosenberg, that's Ken, who'll call up in a minute. George M. Norman Powell, James K. Quintavious, Jeff Thayer, the Marine Thayer, Clay Vaughn, who else was in here? Seymour, Derek Wright, and many others. Shout out to Joel Kraft and Gucci. Ken, I think this is you. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's me. What's up? How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. You were talking about playing earnings tomorrow.
Yes.
AMD comes out with their earnings Wednesday, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 4 p.m. To tomorrow after the close. Mm-hmm. They have a $12 billion market cap versus NVIDIA with $150 billion. What do you think? Play call?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I looked it up here on Black Box, and I mean, it's all over the place. I mean, it's slightly slanted a little bit towards the calls. They're going in the money predominantly. I do see here $13, quite a few $13 calls. So they're playing it safe here. But obviously, I mean, just recently crossed 13 with today's action. So, I mean, I don't know where to go with AMD. I honestly don't because I'm seeing some puts here. I see a couple $14 puts, a couple 12 out of the money puts, a couple $10 puts for AMD. So it seems to be all over the map. I don't see any particularly large trades, a couple 100,000, a couple 200,000. So I'm not seeing what the big money is doing. They just don't happen to have an opinion in terms of what's going on in AMD. So I'm staying out of this, and I'm going to play the direction after the announcement.
Right. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. The semi sector's still high. I thought it was cooling down a couple month ago, and I mean, Intel hit a new high this morning. It's amazing.
Yeah, and Intel just blew their numbers out of the water. NVIDIA is going to be a clear beat. I don't have any doubt of that. I should be going into NVIDIA right now, but I'm just going to play the day before and ride the momentum into the morning and sell the next day. But that's going to be a clear beat based on their incredible business that they're building over there. Yeah, I mean, AMD just is the one that nobody knows what's going to happen just because it's had, a last 90 days. That's nobody knows what the stock wants to do when you look at NVIDIA. So, it's interesting to see how that plays out tomorrow.
Definitely. So, I of course want to get to the penny. The penny market's on fire right now. My ANDI, I'm speechless. I'm in at 1 cent, so I'm up 300%.
I don't know what's going on with ANDI. I mean, we pulled it up last week. I got the alert today too as well on Black Box. The stock doubled today. It actually had gotten a lot higher. What was the high? 0.03.
No, I think it was near the high, the close, 0.0307.
Oh, we're the 3.307. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're actually right. Okay, so
ANDI, it came down midday, though.
Yeah, it came down a little bit, but ANDI still, that's a lot of volatility. That's a lot of buying, unusual volumes. I think it was the best volume day over the last recent few days. So ANDI showing a lot of volatility here. Yeah, the stock has, in fact, gone up over 300%. What's that? Since what is that, the 19th? So about 10 days.
Wow.
About 10 days, 300% on your money in 10 business days. Incredible.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. There was another one I bought into this early afternoon, UBQU. It's a marijuana stock. I don't know too much about it, but I do know the float is really small on it, and just like the way it was trading, the volume was huge.
Yeah, I saw somebody just bring that stock up in the chat room. Another incredible run on an OTC stock that a lot of people had kind of forgotten about. I mean, I'm looking here in November, obviously the run into the California announcement, but like most, marijuana stocks, it faded out. Where this incredible volume is coming from, it beats me because I don't see any recent announcements since December 8th. So if you want to fill me in on where this attention is coming from, let me know.
I will. I'll research. I'll get back to you on that.
Appreciate it.
The BYOC today, I sent you some information this morning on BYOC. Yeah. It consolidated. I mean, it didn't crash.
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
You sent me some news that I mean, I don't know how you would feel about it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of knowing that the stock is being held by a private investor with that large of ownership. I could understand if it was management or something like that. But I mean, how do you feel about the fact that, you got one guy out there with, like, what was that? I think it was like 20% of the float or something to that?
Yeah, right, exactly. But you got this Bosted Capital Securities sent out, that memo that I sent to you on the 22nd of January when the stock was 8 cents. I mean, that's a real positive sign. The accumulation, if you look at them, CFI and the money flow is still very high. So I guess, I don't think it's going to come crashing down. I sold. I'll be honest. I sold a piece. I sold a third of the position off today.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're overextended here. I mean, you're at 93 on the RSI. It's a really hot stock. It's been running very well. You've got the long-legged doji candlestick with today's action. We'll see. We'll see if there's buyers overwhelm sellers tomorrow. But there's a lot of reason for guys to want to take profits here at these overextended levels. So we'll see what happens with BYOC.
No, and one more. The Apple David Tom Mayer ADTM, it just came back from the dead today. 87% on huge volume.
Yeah. 7 red days in a row. Then all of a sudden you have dip buyers show up, loading up on ADTM. Whether this continues on, we'll see. But obviously, whoever took the advantage of buying those, sub 8s rather, they've practically doubled their money, and I think they'll do it tomorrow.
I think it's going higher tomorrow. There's supposed to be news by the end of the month. So the end of the month's Wednesday, and again, a symbol, name change, all that stuff, the typical OTC playbook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play it, right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, enjoy your evening. I'm tired.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks.
So yeah, long day, for a lot of traders. There's so much going on. I mean, we get job numbers on Friday. Tomorrow we got the State of the Union with Trump. We're expecting some kind of update in terms of what he's going to do with the illegal immigrants. We're also hoping to hear some NAFTA news tomorrow, possibly some clarification on what the administration wants to do moving forward. And how this is going to affect, the market. So, a lot of things happening this week. Stay on top of it because it's going to affect your stocks, particularly if you're playing the large caps. Yes, PRED. Thank you for bringing that up. PRED showing some strength. I like what it's doing. I know I got some emails from people. They're already jumped back in. I'm not comfortable just yet. I want to see a breakout. I want to see a breakout. Obviously, I had a great time, inviting so many of you to ride it up with me from 95 to 380s. I want to see a breakout at 380s, and I'll be more than happy to buy it out and see what it goes from there. But right now, PRED enjoying good stability, new money coming into the stock. That's a good thing. PRED. Yes, indeed. All right. Shout out to, again, everybody in the chat room. What's got everyone talking right now on CNBC? If you watch it during the day, you guys know what's going on with Steve Wynn, I don't want to call him Mr. Vegas, but he is. If you live out in Vegas or if you know anything about the casino business, this man, he's Trump times 1,000. Doesn't have as big of a personality. But I mean, this guy is single-handedly, turned the casino business, literally into a multi-billion-dollar business. I mean, this is a guy who, from what I've read over the last couple hours, got in with some help of the mafia and whatnot, bought them out, took a small, no-name, business, and really created a personality. Around the Las Vegas area, got in with politicians and hobnobbed his way and created an incredible business for himself. And, unfortunately, it's gotten to the point where, he's gotten, well, I would say fortunately for the victims, obviously, they've gotten strong enough to say, hey, I've been victimized by this guy. And now we are learning that this 76-year-old man was using his power and influence to, sexually, assault, women that work for him, man. And coming to find out now, it's, these weren't, college educated. These were like poor women, man. It's coming out slowly, surely. Some of these women were like poor and, car dealers and, women who cleaned rooms and shit like that. It's just so disgusting, man. And this guy was a monster. And, look what it's doing to his business. And it's going to be affecting people who had no idea what was going on. And here he's lost, they said about, 40% of the company's value almost now. So sad state of events there. What's going on, Mr. Lloyd? I see Mr. Lloyd in the chat room. Ann Bullard. Money Bags. Who else is in here? Rob Stratton. Yes, indeed. Michael B. What's going on, bro? All right, let's get to your tickers. Not too much drama. HIPH. But here's the thing. Those of you guys who like options, I did start seeing towards the end of the day some call option buying in Wynn. The options have seen liquidity like they've never seen before. There's still quite a few puts out there. I did see... Let me go back to that ticker real quick. Let me see that. We're at 163. I did see a few purchase here on, again, blackboxtrader.org. 160 put, almost $150,000 on that put. All right, that was for the February 9th expiration, the 160 put. I see a couple 150 calls. Again, one on the call side, I do notice they're going out. They're giving themselves a lot of time on the call side. I see a 150 call for September. I also see a 220 September 21st call. So this guy is going out the money and giving himself a lot of time. All right, so he's looking for a discount play, giving himself a lot of time value in case it doesn't go his way. But, that's going to be an interesting situation because we had a very similar, obviously not a sexual assault, but for those of you guys who remember the Equifax situation, if you remember the Equifax situation, if we go back to EFX, and EFX, if you remember this situation, when they came out, they had an incredible loss of data. Hackers literally, just attacked and stole millions of terabytes of data from Equifax. As you can see, for the individuals who went into Equifax, bought some calls, and put time on those calls, they're sitting on quite a bit of cash right now. For those of those people who are bold enough to go out 6, 7 months, 8 months, 12 months, they're sitting on quite a bag if you took those $90, those $95 calls on Equifax when they were at the bottom. You've no doubt well over maybe 300 to 400% on that trade at those lows. There's no doubt in my mind. There's Equifax and closing the gap very nicely. A little bit of resistance, but closing the gap again very, very nicely. Let me draw a line, see where you're at here. All right, so a little bit of resistance at the gap, but the business, it's an incredible cash cow, and that it is. So again, there's going to be opportunity in that win situation. You're just going to have to be patient. All right, let's get back to the pennies. I know that's what you guys love. I saw somebody bring up HIPH, a former pump of mine from a few months ago. Stock was, had an incredible amount of float, hardly moved. If you remember, several months just hiding, in those double 50s, double 60s. Eventually got some shares taken off the float, and it's finally been able to really move. Nice volume today, up 164% today. All right, announcing some news on a hydrogen-infused CBD product that is going to be put out Super Bowl week in Minneapolis. Up 164% on that news. All right. Somebody got a call action on INTC. That was a great call. Incredible run on Intel right now. Stock hit as high as 50.85 before selling off. We'll see. It's a great time to possibly, maybe buy a call option here based on maybe some profit taking that should happen over the next couple of days. But we've been surprised before. This could very well continue to go higher, as Ken did explain that they did kill. Their earnings were incredible. Nice number there on Intel. You said Kodak. Yeah, Kodak was a stock I played on the short. I got squeezed. and got out the very next day after somewhat of a sell-off. Barely made anything on that Kodak move. And, it's just surprising to, again, see the stock here from the $3 level. Now it's finding some support here in the 9s. Look, it's just the market was just going to continue to just find, I'm lost of words. Because the business, it just doesn't make sense. The company's been a loser for the last 15 years, in terms of digital, creative space. And now all of a sudden they say they're going into the cryptocurrency markets, and people actually believe that Kodak has an opportunity to be successful at this. It's beyond me. All right, LVVV. Shout out to the guys who brought up that stock last week, man. In fact, this probably is a monster kill, because I gotta admit, we brought this stock up.
Monster kill.
We brought this stock up last week, and it was moving. But it's an OTC stock. They all can move. But when you see consistent day after day after day, and then you got this, I mean, you got to be taking profits here, right? You got to be taking profits here, whoever is in LVVV. Incredible move here. Again, another stock that's up over 150% over the last couple of days. JBZY. Again, this is another one that kind of Ken had brought up. If I remember, JBZY. Is this the one that used to be called DOLV? Or I may have it confused. But JBZY, another stock brought up last week. Looks like it sold off a little bit today, down 12%. Yeah, ATOS, insane volume today on ATOS. Here's the thing on ATOS, because the alert came out today on Black Box Stocks, blackboxtrader.org, and the stock actually went down after it. If I look at, I think it's in the 2-minute chart. All right, it's in the 2-minute chart, and I paper traded this in the morning because I saw the alert. It was one of the first alerts to come out. The stock ended up selling off. I say, all right, fuck it, I'm going to options. And I saw the move that was going on in Facebook. I said, all right, let me just go get some easy money over there. But it came right back. ATOS came right back. So as you can see here, 2-minute bars went higher, and I saw it selling off. I was like, oh, okay, this is a one and done kind of thing. But volume continued to come in higher. And, if you played a decent moving average, you really enjoyed the run ahead. And here's the move here in the 5-minute. You got the alert and started selling off, and I didn't know what the hell was going on with it. But all of a sudden here, oh, there we go. So here's the move. My bad. And then started selling off. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And then more volume came. More volume showed up. ATOS was the trade. Now, you tell me whether or not it's going to continue higher, because you did leave a lot of guys up there at 69 cents. You left a lot of guys up there at 69 cents. And you got a lot of guys who are going to, who haven't sold, who bought up there in the 60s, who are expecting you to come find them tomorrow. And if there's a chance like the stock won't get there, now they become your sellers. We'll see what happens tomorrow on ATOS. Yeah, POTN deserves it. Yeah, they absolutely deserve it. You had some profit taking today on the stock. I mean, it was a little bit scary, right? I mean, it sold off to 53 cents. So you had a large seller today in PTON. Here's the selling today, POTN. Incredibly large buyer who just unloaded on your ass today. POTN. Dip buyers came in, taking advantage of it. We did get the announcement on the uplisting, and I mean they deserve it. POTN, incredible numbers all year. The CBD product is the real deal. It's the real deal. It actually sells, and women use it. They got a fan base. And their CBD products are very high quality. They are very high quality. Okay. Let's keep it going. What's going on, John Rambo? Did I get a volume alert on RNVA? I didn't get a volume alert. This is a stock that I wrote about on my website, Advanced Equity Research. I called it a buy for 2018. I still believe that. If you guys remember, if you've done some research on RNVA or read my article, this company was a former NASDAQ play. They got themselves into a little bit of a bind when they bought a hospital called South Fork Medical Center back in 2017. The hospital had basically ran into a debt situation. They ended up closing. RNVA bought the hospital, opened it back up, has spent well over $20 million renovating it, and now they finally got back online back in November. They got online in November. So the hospital's back open. They recently got approved to receive medical reimbursements from healthcare providers, from insurance providers. So they got approved for that. They also got approved for Medicare and Medicaid. So the company's expecting $30 million a year in revenues because of that medical center and in inflows. So RNVA it's going to be a turnaround situation, but you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be patient. But I like the trade for 2018. I think the stock looks a lot better by the end of the year. Looks a lot better by the end of the year. All right, but you're going to have to be patient with this one. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right, let me see your tickers, guys. Let's see why you guys are putting Walmart. Hate to beat a dead horse on Walmart. It's going to 200. Oh, absolutely. I free ride. I'm with you on that Walmart play. I'm with you on Walmart play. You know, there's certain stocks in the market that just make sense. You're going to make money going on certain stocks long term. Walmart, Facebook, Amazon. All right? Walmart, Facebook, Amazon. Those are situations right now. I'm looking at, or PayPal, excuse me. Walmart, PayPal, Amazon, and Facebook, and I would also probably include Baba in that conversation. I would include Baba in that conversation as well. Those are stocks that you can go out right now, get a 2019 $50, you know, where it is from now, $25, $50 call from where it is right now, and you're going to be in the money next year. It's just common sense. For the next 5 to 7 years, these companies they don't have any competition. You know, what competition does PayPal have? Nobody comes close. What competition does Amazon have? Nobody comes close. Facebook, nobody comes close to Facebook and their Instagram product, which Facebook owns. These are stocks that, you know, I've got family members. I got my old man in these plays, man, because I know they're practically monopolies when you talk about the social media space, Facebook and Instagram. All right, PayPal, online. You know, I call it more or less a consumer confidence play, honestly, when you talk about with PayPal. I mean, it's just the trusted way to buy online. It's the trusted way to buy online. You know, unless you're buying on Amazon, right? I don't know. Amazon has its own thing. But if you're buying from any other website, you look for that PayPal logo to let you know, okay, this is something I believe and trust this website, because if they fuck me over, I'm going to get my money back. 772, you're on the air. What's up?
What's happening, Sal? What's happening?
Hey, what's going on with you, Treasure Hunter?
Not much, man. Not much. I sit back and enjoying the show and everything.
Yes, indeed.
Let me see. It was a pretty good day in the market overall. Let me see. IBIO. It was pretty much getting beat up and his ass kicked. Why I didn't cash out, I don't know, but probably end up doing it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But I did buy some other place today. I was looking into the INDI, but towards the middle, right when I was going to get in, I seen that little dip, and I got a little scared, so I didn't get in. But I did buy IDVT.
Okay, IDVT?
Yep.
I don't have an IDVT ticker. IDVT.
No. Oh, you're right. ADVT.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
ADVT. ADVT. Yes, okay. All right. So Advantis. Yeah. Okay. I remember us bringing Advantis up last week. Looks like Advantis continued to go higher today. OTC stock up 37%. Left again some people up there at 9 cents a share. I bet it was in the morning. Let's see there. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. All right, so yeah, you got to the top there at around 3 o'clock power hour and sold off into the close. But nice chart for the day though. Nice chart for the day.
Yeah. Now, hold on. Which ticket do you have?
ADVT.
Okay, you're right. Yep, that's the one. That's one. Now, you know, I usually find them, and then I call you a show. You know how we've been doing it for a good little minute. Mm-hmm. Do you see any continuance to this running by any chance?
I wouldn't. I'm not going to buy here. 90 plus on the RSI. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know what the underlying story is there, but I just wouldn't buy stocks at at these overextended levels. I think here.
Yeah, I know it's up there.
Yeah, if you're buying
keep
here,
going and going
yeah,
and going.
you're just giving somebody their profits at this point. So, if you like the story, I wait for a solid red day or two, and see what it does from there.
Yeah, another one is ALKM.
Okay, ALKM.
Mm-hmm.
All right, OTC stock was a triple. Wow, it was a 000 stock for quite a while here. Going back to the beginning of 2017, looks like you just got out of the triples and doing a good job of hanging out. It's been a couple of days since it's been out of the triples. Now at 0012, holding it relatively well. So hopefully those triples decide to stay up there and volume continues to come in.
Nice.
Yeah.
And another one, Odigodi, that was fake. They're like a lot of little dips in and out, but I like to try to get it on the low. Odigodi was SSOF. I bought them right about 12, because it had a weird little slope, and I tried to read the charts, But I got them, not too bad.
Yeah, SSOF is one of those rare OTC stocks that's actually doing what they say they're doing. I mean, this is a small oil field services company that's actually a real company, real employees, and actually it's got a couple hundred employees. A small little, I wouldn't call it a mom and pop business because the guy's a self-made millionaire, but he's got great contractors with companies, contracts rather, with companies like Exxon and these other little large oil plays that they do service for. So SSOF is kind of one of those companies that should be probably trading for a lot higher, but it is what it is.
you know it. That's what I'm saying. Watch his show, and people watch his show and do a little homework, man. They make a little cash, man. You the shit, bro.
Appreciate
Keep
it,
up
man.
the good work, Mr. Sal.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate the call, Treasure Hunter. Yes, indeed. All right, let's keep it going. Back into the chat room. What's going on, Ricardo? Let's see what some tickers are. What you guys got looking for, not just today, not just for tomorrow, but for the rest of the week. Again, the trade tomorrow's got to be Mickey D's, man. Mickey D's. I know we got some parents in the building right now. One of the best things that ever happened to McDonald's was the decision to go with all-day breakfast. With all-day breakfast, because I know with my daughter's mom, and especially my daughter when she was younger, she loved just the biscuits. So we would get the sausage biscuits, and they introduced it around late 2015, early 2016, and it's been one of the drivers for the business ever since then. But you just get the biscuit, take the sausage out, and just give her a little bit of the bread and stuff like that. I mean, the kids love it. 409, you're in here. What's up?
Good afternoon, sir. First time caller.
Appreciate it. Who am I speaking with?
Chris Trewell.
All right, Chris. And what you got for us, man?
I go by FJ32 Chris.
All right.
Anyways.
Appreciate it.
I loaded the wagon up on AMD. What do you think?
All right. So tell me why, because we had a caller just recently who called up about it, and I'm looking at some completed option trades, and there's really no direction. I'm seeing almost 50-50 calls and puts. So why did you load the boat, and what direction did you load in?
I don't know. I'm just thinking, based on, those processing chips right now is a hot market.
Okay. All right. So are you long stock, or are you heavy on the calls?
Well, I'm technically doing this as a short trade, hoping that they have good earnings.
Okay. So are you are you buying stock, or do you have calls in this position?
No, I bought actual physical stock.
Okay. All right. So AMD.
Yeah, I'm really not. I got to get more into the options. Got a lot of learning to do with that.
Excellent. I mean, this is a stock that, if you go back some of the earnings dates, obviously a lot of volatility on earnings day. The last one was pretty bad. I mean, they didn't miss, but it was a disappointing because you saw a decline on what they expected that the crypto business was going to mean to the company. But you believe that something's changed since November. That
Well, computers sell good in the Christmas time, so graphics processors are doing good because a lot of people are using crypto mining and all this. So it's just a matter of time before that stock pushes up to at least $40, $50 level, in my opinion. And then secondly, moving on past that one, CELG. I'm thinking this stock is way undervalued. What do you think?
Well, let's go back real quick to AMD because I just want to get where your mind was on going into this trade. Where do you expect to sell this after the announce? Where would you like to?
Probably around 20.
Okay. So the expectation is that AMD comes out with earnings. Obviously, you expect to sell at 20, so it's got to be a killer number. You're expecting them to just blow it out the water. And
well, I mean, stocks like this, they normally rise with the tide too. So I think it's lagging for the market, the sector.
All right.
As well,
he sees AMD as a value play. So interesting. All right, just want to see. Go ahead.
I just think it's a big name and they're way undervalued.
Right. Oh no, I'm not either or. I'm not for or against. I just wanted to get your mindset on that trade because we'll be here tomorrow. We'll see what happens with AMD, and I hope again they kill it.
I mean, this is all I didn't do any technical analysis, fundamental, any of this. I'm just going on based on pure logic, what I've known. I'm a gamer. Just following the trends, what everything else is doing. And then I see you got CELG pulled up here. What do you think here? Is it undervalued?
Well, I don't know anything about the company. This is a big company, $82 billion company. Obviously, they've got some other things that are affecting here.
They just bought out Juno. That stock went from 40 to 80 last week. So, they've got money, obviously.
Right. They're sitting on a ton of cash. But large cap stocks, obviously, I don't know too much on CELG, but definitely wish you the best on it, man. Appreciate the call.
All right, God bless.
Thank you for the call. Yeah, and guys, when you guys call up, look, I'm not attacking your stock, okay? I'm not either way. I want everybody to make money. I understand that there's more than enough money out here for everybody, okay? The United States government literally prints over $1 billion a day in cash. Okay, so I don't have any wish to lose money or anything like that. It doesn't for me is to make a great show. But when I ask you guys about your positions, just take it as me just wondering where is your head at, because I want a trader who is watching this for the first time, who doesn't know anything about stocks, to kind of get an idea of how you processed the information. Okay, all right, this is a trade I want to make. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I want to get out of you. 206, Mr. Lloyd, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? I gotta agree with that last caller. I'm gonna tell you something. I think AMD is going to potentially get bought out and some big merger, and all of a sudden that stock is going to boom. I believe it's undervalued too. But the question is, you just don't know when. I can see you talking about on the show one day, ladies and gentlemen, AMD's now it's $120 a share. You know what I'm saying? I can see that happening. We just talked about this, and I hope somebody loaded up on that. But I do see that. But do we have the patience to wait on that? If I had millions and millions of dollars, I don't mind putting in 15,000. Let us sit on it for a while. But shit, we're trying to make cash money every day. So that's just me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree with that last caller, man. I think it's a value play, and I think potentially they're going to get bought out, and we're going to see a merger somewhere in the near future, but I don't know when. And I can understand his logic behind that.
Yeah.
But also, I wanted to let Bats know, hey, check your Discord, man. So he brought up Ford, and actually, I want to touch bases on your Wynn real quick. I still think Wynn is still it's still not settled down yet. I wouldn't buy any calls at this point until I see a reversal candle, at least one green candle. But right now, I mean, with that gap down, and then I'm looking at daily, if they gap down and it just looks like a continuation. I mean,
yeah.
I've been in many plays like this where it gaps down. You think you caught the bottom, and that shit's still sinking. So typically, I will wait for the reversal, at least a green candle, and ride up for a few days because it needs to retract back up before it continues down. But that's just my opinion. And
it makes sense. And it makes very, very much sense.
Yeah, and so Bats wanted, and I don't know if you mind me talking about this, Bats, but he asked me about buying a large amount of Ford as far as contracts, like 200 to 300 contracts, and so I played the play this morning, and it cost this is paper trade now. It cost me $200 to get in for 200 contracts.
Ford Motor Company.
And it's going to cost. Yeah.
Okay.
So I bought puts this morning. I think he was looking more towards calls, but I decided to buy the puts this morning. And I think that's going to be a good play. But the problem when you play Ford options, you have to buy so many of them. I mean, right now I'm sitting on 200 options, and I bought it before I went to work this morning. And it was like $60 as far as in profit. Now, right now I'm sitting at $1,400 in profit. But if you think about it, it cost me $400 to go in and out. I mean, yeah, you still got some money, but the problem is are you going to be able to liquidate all those options? So that's why I like playing Priceline, because you just buy one option or two options and you're good. You don't have to buy 50 million options, and because TD took like $10,000 away from me, man, just for commissions.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I just wanted to comment on Wynn. I love those gap down plays, but you know how many times we talk about those gap downs and think that we caught the bottom, and that shit just like it's like bleeding to death.
Yeah, I mean, it's a similar situation we kind of saw a couple months ago in stocks like Best Buy and Equifax and a couple of other ones. So that there's eventually going to get that reverse, like you said, candlestick,
right.
And eventually once you see that, put some time on that option, and I think you're going to be good to go on many of those calls. Yeah.
Right. And just one last comment for Bats. Yeah, I saw the 200-day SMA, but if you're going to get those calls, especially that many contracts, you want to wait until you see the reversal candle so you can at least make some profit. It doesn't make sense to buy all those contracts and then be down $300 to $400, within a few minutes because you thought you caught the bottom. So I still think Ford is still in the downtrend. And there's no reversal candle yet, but I definitely will wait on that. But anyway, how you holding up, Sal? Everything good?
Oh, everything's great, man. Everything's great. Trading had a great day today. Almost $1,500 made today. So,
you're doing good, man.
Yeah, good. Yeah, man. This is earnings season, baby. This is the bread and butter. Yeah. Time of the year for short-term option traders. So this is where you get it, man. And I love it. Every 3 months we're in this situation, so you just try to get as much as you can.
Now, do you find yourself still proficient in trading stocks itself? Because I went strictly options, and now coming back to equities, it's a little difficult for me, especially when you put $2,000 or $3,000 in a play and you're only making $60, within the day.
Yeah. I mean, it's the options is definitely faster money. But even with my trading, I was predominantly shorting, so I'm still, I've still been brainwashed by Tim Sykes. I'm shorting pump and dumps. I'm shorting stocks that are overextended on news. I'm not going out here and finding some, $30 stock and doing research and breaking. No, I'm just, looking for crappy companies that are trading at insane valuations. And I'm placing starter positions at 2,500, and then as it starts to sell off, I'll add and add and add until it reaches a level that I think I can go ahead and just close the entire order. But daily, in terms of making money every day on a daily basis, it's got to be options. That's just where it's at, because for what kind of return you can generate and what you actually have to put up is minuscule. I mean, you can put up $2,000 and make 50% of that, in the same day, and I've seen it many times over and over and over again. Whereas with stocks and trading with Tim Sykes' level, I didn't really start making a lot of money on this strategy until, I started putting like 10, 15 grand in certain positions, bro. So
right.
Options is the way to go if you want to be a trader every day for guys who are listening.
Right. And do you find yourself doing as much due diligence now as you did before? Because I found myself doing background checks on the people and all kind of crazy stuff, and I just really kind of like dwindle away from looking at the not the volume, but as far as the short interest and all that other stuff. Do you still spend hours and hours looking at that stuff?
On the pumps and dumps, yes. On the pumps and dumps, yes. But obviously, when I'm buying an option or anything like that, no. I'm just playing the trends or the momentum or some short-term news or whatever, into earnings or whatnot. But, pumps and dumps, yeah, I admit, I don't know about hours, but, because now there's certain things in the 10K that I'll look for that as soon as I see it, okay, I already know what the whole story is. But, yeah, I still look for individual names that are, notorious for pump and dumps and scams. And if I see a certain name, I already know, oh, wow, okay, yeah, this is going to go for a couple of days. And eventually I know she's tight on cash, or she doesn't like to have, he doesn't like to have his run for very much long. So kind of those things. But absolutely, I'm still doing research.
And I got a comment for people, and you probably fall in this category. I just don't understand when you go to Costco to get gas, right? The line is long as hell. You ever go to Costco to get gas?
I go to Costco, but I don't go to that little gas stations they have.
Well, for the people that go to the gas station, and you've probably seen this at a regular gas station, but why the hell do people strain themselves to put the fucking pump all the way on the other side, knowing they on the wrong side, stretching that shit out, and it just looks ridiculous, man. I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? They got their mom holding the thing so it don't hit the roof. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it looks stupid. I've only seen that a couple of times, but yeah, it does. It looks absolutely retarded. But I mean, that's how lazy we've gotten as a society, man. This is America. People want convenience, even if it means inconveniencing themselves. They would rather, inconvenience themselves going around the car than put in the effort to start their car, back up, reverse, and do it the right way. It's welcome to America.
Man, I went to IKEA this weekend, man. Let me tell you something. I mean, IKEA is only, I don't know if you got IKEA where yet, man, but that shit's almost like, it's worse than Walmart. I mean, as far as trying to get up in there, I mean, you fighting to buy some shit. That's all it is some broke-ass, cardboard that ain't going to make it 2 or 3 days, and you stand in line 15 hours just to take it home with you.
Most of the shit is overpriced, too. I mean, I know their profit margins have to be stupid huge, bro. So I've never been a big fan of IKEA, but I know a lot of women like it, and, the kind of hipster types, they really like that kind of shit. So that is what it is. And I think they're a private company, right? I don't think they're publicly traded. Right. So.
And my last question for you, man, if looking where you are today and where you've been, if there's one thing you can change about how you started trading as far as what you should have went into, so I mean, I guess, is there anything that you would have changed about the past of like, for example, I wish I never traded sub-penny stocks. I wish I met Connor when I first started this, and had a fresh start at, without having to look at bankruptcy plays and all that other bullshit. I mean, is there anything that you would have changed? I mean, because you got a little bit more experience than me. So, is there anything that you would have done differently as far as what you know now compared to what, as far as back then?
If I could change anything, I would have. At the beginning, the first maybe 2 years, I would have not taken any money out of my trading account. I had a bad habit of making money and sometimes using my trading money and buying stuff, spending money doing stuff. That was a bad habit. When you have a trading, that is your money to trade, especially if you're not at the level where you're full-time yet. you have to do whatever you can to prevent yourself from taking money out of that account, especially if you're a profitable trader. That is money that you've earned to allow you to make trading from then on easier for you. So certain positions you can go in with more size, more advantages. When you take money out of your trading account, you're only hurting yourself. You're only hurting yourself. And whatever you were spending that money on isn't going to pay back what you could have gotten if you just keep that money and continue to make money on that money. So that was, if I can go back and tell a trader, is just, whatever you make, man, keep that money. Don't touch it. Keep building it. Continue to, grow that and invest it until it reaches some incredible number where you can take out $1,000 and it's like taking out a penny. When you get to that level, then you can do that kind of shit.
I had a hard time. I don't know how you did it, man. I have a hard time taking money out of the, the profits that I gain. I mean, it's like I give it back to the people, but I make like $1,000 or $1,500, and we've already talked about this. It doesn't seem real until it goes into the account. And I mean, I think I may have pulled out money maybe 2 or 3 times in my trading career, and I wish I would have done it more, because it probably give me a little bit more confidence in my trading, instead of me giving it back to the people once you make 5,000 or 6,000. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, man, I ain't gonna hold you up, but I appreciate it, man. I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for you, we went. We had a lot of ups and downs, man. I mean, shit, we won together, we lost together. Yeah. We cried together, but I appreciate it, man, because I wouldn't have been here today, if it wasn't for you, man. So I really appreciate it, brother. And everybody else out there, hey, just keep working at it, man. It doesn't happen overnight. I assure you it doesn't happen overnight. You're going to lose your ass off trying to learn the game, man. But, just got to stay patient and stay strong. And if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. But just paper trade and just continue to, as you said before, continue to do it so you don't lose the touch, as you say. So, anyways, man, have a good afternoon or good evening, and see you guys later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lloyd. As always a great call. Always a great call with Mr. Lloyd. Let me give him a kid's cheer, man. Always a great call with Mr. Lloyd. And, that guy Connor, man, that we had him on Thursday, he's changed lives. He's changed my life. Lloyd said he changed his life, and it's because of the show we were able to meet him. It's because of the show we were able to meet him. I didn't know who Connor was before I had the show. He came to my show. I don't remember how he found me exactly. I think maybe he was looking probably at some Tim Sykes videos like so many people, and then they find me. And he's like, dude, no, let me introduce you to this thing called options. And for the first couple months, I was like, man, you come from money, it's it's different, man. You know what I mean? But then he showed me, and I was like, no, dude, like for $500 you in the game. I was like, 500? And I told you guys, I went into a stock with called NVIDIA, $500, went into it and turned it into $1,500, man. After that, I was sold, bro. After that, I was sold. I went in with $500, and at the time, the stock was, I think it was like 80 something, right? Was it like, it was, it was like 80 something. Yeah, this was like 80 something. And made $1,500, man. I was like, that's the life. Yes, indeed. So appreciate you, Mr. Lloyd, as always. All right. Shout out to the people still in the chat room. Again, press like on this video. Press like on this video. If you don't know how to trade, learn to trade, click on that link, Millionaire Trading Academy. My man Tim Sykes will hook you up. All right. Yes, indeed. Let's keep it going. Of course, Equity Feed. Get 2 weeks free. Best scanner in the market, equityfeed.com. But definitely check out my black box stocks, man. I've been killing it using that software. If you follow me on Instagram, Free Stock Picks, I posted my gains today. My gains today. And then that's just a copy trade. Hashtag follow the rich. That's my little new hashtag. I'm putting out there. Follow the rich, guys. That's all I'm doing. Follow the rich. I saw that alert on black box stocks. I pulled up, my chart, I liked it. I followed it. That's all I did. Did I talk PRED? Yeah, I talked a little bit PRED. I like what it's doing. There are already some guys who are back in PRED. Personally, me, I'm not back in it. I'll play the breakout. I'll play the breakout, when that happens. But I like PRED. I like PRED. A lot of guys, oh man, Sal, this is another pump and dump, blah blah blah, and then now, it's a real company now. It's a real deal now. Now that people actually want this thing, and it's got a very, very bright future ahead of it. So if you're playing just kind of short-term ups and downs, by all means, then go ahead and wait. But if you are just want to be in the long run, buy it now. Just put it on the side and just let it do what it's going to do. Let it do what it's going to do. Oh, I don't have a Discord anymore. I know guys have a Discord. You can go to Connor's channel. He's got a Discord room or whatever, but I don't mess with the Discords anymore. I don't have time for that during the day. I'm too busy trying to make some money. All right, and Black Box Stocks has their own Discord, so you can't be in 5 chat rooms at the same time. That's my frustration with chat rooms. You just can't. You can only be in one, Otherwise you're jumping through chat rooms and then you're missing trades. FUSZ, who brought this up? HM. Sooner will be the story of OTC. Well, what happened with that 18 cents, man? Lost a nickel on that today. Obviously, that's volatility, but it's quite a bit to lose on almost 3 million shares traded. Free stock picks is my IG. Free stock picks, plural. RAS. What is this? Rat Financial New Benefit Interest. Don't know anything about this. Oh, Real Estate Investment Trust. Okay. Real Estate Investment Trust. That's an interesting move for a real estate investment trust to be that cheap. Looks like I've looked at this stock previously. 73 cents. I got it marked over here. I don't know when I pulled that up. It could have been possibly back in October when I marked it. 73 cents. That's a cheap real estate investment trust. Real estate investment trust. The thing about them is that 90% of their revenue has to be reinvested back into the corporation, to the trust. Or I got it confused. Oh no, hold on. I got it confused. In real estate investment trust, 90% of the, I want to say, revenue is given in terms of dividends to shareholders.
Yeah, good day.
313, you're on the air. What's up? 313, you're on the air.
Shut your yapper.
All right, so we actually got
Those
some clowns
footy
here.
tickets sold me were fake.
Let me see here. I got the perfect one for you. Where's my
Never mind that. You need to know those tickets didn't work.
I take a look at my enormous penis.
Mate, I went down to the
troubles start
MTV and they told me
melting
to
away.
you owe me no
I
money.
take a look at my enormous penis, saying the happy times are coming to stay. I gotta sing and I dance when I glance in my pants, and the feeling's like a sunshiny day. I take a look at my enormous penis, saying everything is going my way.
You see, people try to prank my show with the prank calls, but look, at the end of the day, I got a great show. I make money, and I got a big ass dick. I got a big ass dick, man. So, you can't put me in a bad mood with a prank call. Appreciate the call anyway. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. What is besides McDonald's? I'm so focused on McDonald's tomorrow, but there are gonna be some other plays tomorrow. But I'm just so focused on Mickey D's. We have AKS. I don't know if Ken is still in the building. Are you still in the calls on AKS? We got some people who expect AKS to blow it out the water tomorrow at 8:30. Pfizer is another big deal tomorrow. Pfizer, I don't know too much on pharmaceuticals. It's just the business is too big for me to understand. So I just leave it alone. But that's another company that's got pretty decent liquid options as well. Besides that, I don't see any other ones of interest. Any other tickers? Yeah. Pfizer, McDonald's, AKS. Those are the ones to watch. All right. You said give him the flush. I won't give him the flush. I just gave him the nut song. All right. RCGR. Let's see here. RCGR, Rich Cigar. 14.5% today. Here's the last couple of days of moves, but I mean, look at the volume. I mean, volume has been low, but you've got to kind of zoom in on it to see where the volume is. You can see decreasing volume, although the stock is going higher. So obviously, you don't have too many sellers, and the people who are going in are buyers, even though volume is decreasing. So obviously, the people who are going in are buying large amounts of stock, but don't know too much else about the company Rich Cigar, RCGR, OTC stock. CHFS, possible CHFS. Yeah, this was a huge runner back in November, man. I mean, to see where this stock is now, it's almost sad, really. I mean, this was a $9 stock 2 months ago. This was a $9 stock 2 months ago. CHF. You saying possible squeeze? I don't see it, but I hope it happens for your sake. 702, you're on the air. What's up?
Well, lad, what's the crack?
Okay, so.
Me not.
All right, so it looks like we got some nigger nerds playing on my phone. All right, so let's keep it going. Yeah, Rob, yeah. You know how it goes, bro. Every time, bro. Andrew, yes, we did talk some ATOS. Nice run today. We'll see a continuation tomorrow. Maybe. Iceberg J said you got a small account. You can't afford to be wrong. My account lives and dies by earnings. It increased. My account will also kills when I'm wrong. Well, Iceberg J, how much are you working with? Because, I still got a lot of love for the guys who trade with like less than 500 and who are very 100 with the fact that, man, look, I only got fucking $500, Sal. Dude, I was there. I was 100% there. I was 100% there. Now, the biggest mistake that I made at the time, but I was lucky at the time because I started at a time where, you can go into a lot of OTC plays and, over the course of a week and a half, you were up 100, 200, 300%. Now I wouldn't dare tell anybody who only has $500 to go into an OTC stock unless that's the kind of risk you're willing to play with. But if you just need that cash, I would very much tell you to try to get in some of these morning runners. Get good at picking up morning runners and finding morning runners and scrapping it that way. Or develop an option strategy where you're kind of like what we had Trading Jedi talk about on Thursday, where you're buying puts on overbought issues. So you're looking for overbought securities that you go in and buy calls on, and then that's all you're doing just to get yourself in a position where you got some more money. That's really the only thing I would be doing, because you just need to get some cash. You need to get more money in that account. $2,000, yeah, that's a good enough. Yeah, bro. With $2,000, I would, again, not to be biased, but because it works, I would want you to get black box stocks to get into that community and get those alerts. You know. You don't know what an overbought security is? If that's the case, then don't even trade with those $2,000. I need you to paper trade right now. If you don't know what an overbought security is, I need you to paper trade for the next 3 months. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say an overbought security, Rob Stratton, AIG might have a run up after this pullback. Let's see. Let's see some weeklies. I don't see. Let me see. Do I say it might have a run up after this pullback? I don't see a pullback when I pull up AIG on the weeklies. I see a stock that's up, over the last several weeks here, quite nicely on AIG. If anything, when I pull up the weekly chart on AIG, I'm seeing a stock that's got issues, with $65, and you're possibly looking at a stock that's, will sell off over the next week and a half. The daily chart's not saying that. The daily chart's not saying that, but, the weekly chart is. So this is going to be one that either you're going to play for, a day or two, or, the next several days. But as you can see here, the weekly chart has got a lot more consistency to the moves than the daily. So I'd put some patience on that trade if you want to go on AIG. That's just me. No, black box stocks is $79 or $78, something like that. Just do it for a month. And that's the thing, is I'll get an email from a guy who doesn't want to pay $78 but will lose $250 on a trade. I don't understand that. You want to pay 78 or 79, whatever it is, bucks for 30 days, but you're willing to go into a trade and lose $250 in 30 minutes. I don't get that. All right, let's keep it going. Pandora, Mad Dad. I'm not a big fan of Pandora, man. It's been a loser for a long time, as you can see here. I don't know where, Pandora was for 2017, man. I mean, and which is kind of interesting because I like the business. I like Pandora. I used to subscribe to Pandora. And the only reason I stopped doing it is because I just figured, let me just download all the songs that I really enjoy, and I wouldn't have to pay for any streaming anything, right? But it's a great way to find, music you otherwise wouldn't hear, right? Because they kind of play musicians that are similar to what you like. 70% of the time they get that way off. I wouldn't say 70, maybe 60% of the time they'll play somebody you really don't like, and you're like, how does that fit in, with this guy that I said whose music I want you guys to play. But something's going on with Pandora and the underlying business that just isn't working, and that could be the fact that you've got a lot of other companies out there that offer a similar service for free, but it is obvious, and they offer a free service. They offer a free service that's paid by advertising, but again, it is free. And you got a lot of competition out there that some would say does it better than Pandora. So I'm not a fan of it. I think there are better trades out there. IFXY, I've kind of stayed out of IFXY because you got a lot of IFXY. If you just go on Twitter, $IFXI, you see the hype, right? You see the hype, and it's just like, God, just have it. Just have it, So IFXY, at the end of the day, it's another OTC. You already know how this is gonna look, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks from now, play the Momo and just hope it continues to go higher. But I don't want any part of it where it is now. I don't want any part of it where it is now. Especially if you're not already in it. If you're already in it, man, just enjoy it. But, if you're new to the scene, if you didn't take advantage of that dump that took place there on Friday, where if you looked at the news, a guy came out, because it hit my alert, and the guy came out and said, hey, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a newbie. I had 20 million shares of IFXY, and I accidentally sold, and, I'm sorry, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this guy just was in the triples. He bought IFXI when it was in the triples. He had been holding it and kind of dumped it all at one time, literally at that moment. Now, interesting that you had buyers come in and buy all of that up. So that was very telling. And he posted that in Investors Hub, by the way. And I'm reading that stuff. I don't post there. Because I don't like people seeing that I'm watching that shit. But that was the story behind that huge dump on Friday. Cruz Cuts. Yeah, I appreciate that, Cruz. Thank you, bro. If you got it from my link, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I got them. I don't know, word got back to them, so they sending me some shirts and shit like that. I'm gonna start giving some of that out here on the show. So that's what's up. What's going on, John Rambo? I see you in the building. I appreciate you, man. All right. Sounds like crypto traders. Yeah, man, the crypto traders are struggling. You see, the crypto traders basically disappeared, man. There was a couple of days on Twitter back in December. You couldn't refresh your feed without seeing some Bitcoin shit, man. Bro, it was like, God damn. Am I going to have to become a full-time crypto trader or what? Back in December, some of you guys who have Twitter, you might remember that feeling. Now you got to search for Bitcoin. you got to search for Bitcoin tweets. Those guys have disappeared so damn fast. Blue Water Ventures, BWVI. We talked about we talked about that. John, who brought this up? I think John brought that up. Or was it you, Silver Fox? I think you brought that up. Nice move on that today. Obviously, it sold off after we talked about it on Thursday, but nice rebound today. Nice rebound on that today. Let's see if it can continue to bounce off that. Let's continue to see if it can bounce off that and continue to add to those gains. And I'm still waiting for them to put out a number on terms of the valuation of that find. You remember the time you called, that was the one thing that I thought would really help the stock and bring in more volume, because that's what's kind of holding BWVI back, is that, it's just not enough news about what the hell they found. George M., you said we had a show about cryptos. Yeah. You remember I was gonna pump a cryptocurrency play, but then the guy, literally the next day, the guy ends up abandoning the coin, and I got the whoever it is, just looks over me, man, because I was going to get myself into that space, and then the very next day, this guy runs away with the project, and that was enough for me. I was like, man, I could have lost thousands of dollars if I had put in everything that I wanted to into that stock, into that coin. So that was all I needed to know, and I stayed away from that bullshit. No, it was Redcoin was what I was looking into. The coin that I wanted to pump from my show was called Bitcoin 2X. Bitcoin 2x. It was Bitcoin built on the light chain platform or whatever that is. So it was basically Bitcoin, on crack. Bitcoin on crack. Would have been an incredible opportunity. But certainly the ancestors were just watching me, bro. The ancestors were just had my back, bro. Next thing you know, the next guy, he wasn't answering my emails. I wanted him to come on to the show and he wasn't responding. He gave me this number. I found out it was a fucking Google Voice number. And then I go on Telegraph and everybody's like, oh my God, I think he dumped all his coins. And that was it. Michael Black, opening an account with them. You don't have much money, ready to learn. Yep. You're looking to learn stocks, go to TD Ameritrade, open up an account there. Hit up my boy, MillionaireTradingAcademy.com. That's Tim Sykes if you can't afford him. Definitely go through the education section at TD Ameritrade. They bought the company Invest Tools. They integrated Invest Tools learning, system into TD Ameritrade. It's like 6 hours worth of trading lessons, and you're going to go through each lesson, and it's thorough, but it's very broad though. It's quite broad, and it kind of you miss out on those little details that only a day trader will kind of give you. What's going on, Jay West? He said the ancestors that sound like African Boreal. All right, let's keep it going, man. I know you guys got some tickers you're watching for the rest of the week. I know not everybody's in here just playing earnings. But like I said, I can't wait to get that Mickey D's. Tomorrow. And by the way, everybody's loaded up on calls on Mickey D's. I'm seeing a lot of calls on Mickey D's. And I think McDonald's is going to beat, because America is, we love fast food, man. We love, as much as we want to be healthy, Americans are, for the most part, overworked and underpaid. And when they get off work, particularly women with families, men who work during the day or work nights and stuff like that, and they, ain't got time to work, they're going through the drive-through, man. Going through that drive-through. So I think McDonald's beats handedly. HMNY, appreciate the tickers, guys. HMNY. I mean, what's going on with HMNY? I had to sell. I mean, it was a decent. I made some decent money on HMNY. I had to go do some other things, but that was a nice profit. And by the way, who brought that up was Bad Scientists. Bad Scientists brought that up. FLL, I'm still long that, although my position is a little lighter now. Yeah, that was pretty disappointing back on Friday. But FLL, nice rebound today on that stock, up 4.9. Let's give it to him, 5%. FLL. I wish the Supreme Court would just come out and say it. Just come out and say that they're going to let us be able to bet on sports. I'm telling you guys, sports betting is going to get approved. It's going to get approved, and you're going to have a new generation of OTC tickers that are all going to be about sports betting. You saw what happened when cryptocurrencies came out. You saw what happened when 2013, 2014, marijuana, 2012, marijuana. I'm telling you right now, when sports betting comes out, you're going to see a flood of new companies that are going to be in the sports betting space. You're going to have publicly traded companies right now. Biotechs change their name. Sports Betting USA, Sports Betting International. Bet Plus or some shit. You know, these little fancy names that they'll come up with. You'll see it. You'll see it. It's coming. I'm playing the casinos, and that's why Wynn looks to be more of a good opportunity now, especially with what's going on with that. But as Mr. Lloyd said, going to look for a situation there, wait for a reversal. Thankfully, he brought that up. Netflix, Netflix. Shout out to Netflix. Netflix scheme's going on, but Netflix is overextended here. In fact, let me pull that up. I can't remember on Netflix here on Black Box Stocks, blackboxtrader.org. I see guys are buying the 260 puts. Let me see here. Was there a $1 million trade on that? I don't see any $1 million trades. I always follow the $1 million trades. The $1 million trades on Black Box Stocks, when you see a $1 million trade, option trade, that's almost always a winner. Almost always a winner. Let me see here. But on the put side, I see guys who are going. Any short term? I see some February. Yeah, mostly 275 put. God, he got a 275 put for 84,000. February 2nd, 275 put. He bought it at 282.50, 318 calls for 84 grand for 275. That seems 275. That's like right here. I mean, it could pull back to 275. I mean, this is a stock that can gain or lose. I mean, look what it did. It did $9 today, so it can do 275 again. It can do 275, but that's quite a pullback after a solid day. But actually, that kind of makes sense here, though. That 275 makes good sense here. He's got some time on it. February 2nd. That's a little too short, though. He's saying 275 by Friday. Boy, that's a risk. That's a risk. I'm not, I'd like that. I'd put more time on that. I'd put another 2 weeks or 3 weeks on that before I go on something like that. Yeah, Netflix got bumped to 300. Yeah, that's the run up here. That's another thing you got to learn about earnings, because every time a company kills it, and especially earnings, I mean, on Netflix, that 8.3 million new subscribers, you almost had to believe that analysts were going to come out and bump their numbers up. They were going to bump their numbers. It just made sense for them to do that. You're going to see that on NVIDIA too. If NVIDIA blows it out the water, if Facebook, Instagram blows it out the water, you're going to see some analyst revisions of their numbers as well. You're going to see that too. But you got to remember, Facebook tends to sell off on earnings. But a day or two later, that sell-off tends to be an incredible dip buying opportunity in hindsight. So if you're looking for a great trade moving forward, Facebook on earnings, it'll sell the next day, and then find that low, and literally a week later, you're well into the money as the stock goes higher. This is the time to get into Netflix. You said the time to get into Netflix was the beginning of the year, Jay. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But I don't think it's the times is missed. I think I don't think it's over for streaming. I mean, if you say that, I mean, you could have said the same thing with Netflix at the beginning of 2017. Would you admit that Netflix is going to be higher, 2019? If you agree with that, then I don't think it's any wrong for somebody to wait for a pullback and take advantage of that situation to go in with some time. I think streaming is here to stay, and Netflix is doing all the right things, man. They got great products, great little shows that they put on, and Netflix is and by the way, look at Netflix on the monthly. Look at the monthly on Netflix. You want to talk about just buying monthly Netflix calls, just month after month, reverse, just look at this. It's look at this. Now, this is why I say, you might want to look into some of these puts because of what, the kind of gains we got here on this month. Right? I mean, that's a huge move. They're going to give some of that's got to come back. But over the course of the year, this stock is going higher. He said, unless a recession hits, or unless the Democrats take over. Unless the Democrats take over, because that, unless he can be able to lead by executive orders for the rest of his term, he ain't, he's not passing any more legislation. I'll tell you that right now. If they take over the House, he's not passing any more legislation. That's why they want to get this deal done with the wall and stuff before November. He's not going to get anything done for the rest of his term. After November, if they take the House, or if they take the House and the Senate, you got guys like Joe Manchin and that. If he can survive, which I don't think he'll be able to, but if he does survive, and they take over the Senate, you got some vulnerable Democrats too in the Senate. Not necessarily so much in the House, but in the Senate, you got some vulnerable Democrats, especially if he gets the wall before November. You got some vulnerable, people over there. Starbucks. Horrible earnings, right? I saw it. You couldn't really take advantage of Starbucks unless you were, you already had the calls, or the puts. Before earnings. I'm not a big fan of Starbucks, so I know I didn't talk about it on the show. I probably should have. I didn't have anybody call in and ask about it. But does this continue to go lower? I think so. It was very disappointing. It is disappointing. But it could do a snap. It could do a snap. If you remember Snapchat, that's another stock I'm looking forward to in the next couple of days. Snap, if you remember, you had the 2 days, and then again looking back, you buy a call option with 90 days, 120 days, and it was a winner for you. It was a winner for you. Snap literally came out and said, man, we lost tons of money, lost over almost $2 billion. But you had another company from China, Tencent, come out and say, hey, well, we took a 10% position in the stock. And they still loved it. And Snap, less than 30 days from putting off some of the worst numbers we've seen in social media, in that social media space. They were literally back to their highs. Now the stock is sold off since, as we're going into earnings, and people are expecting bad news, and I'm expecting Snap to sell off as well. Those $13 puts is what I'm looking for, and I won't touch them until maybe the day before, but we'll see. I'll probably take some calls just to protect myself in case too. So the Netflix and chill line has it running. It's so funny we talking about Netflix and chill. I just did some Netflix and chill on Saturday. On Saturday, I had some Netflix and chill. You know, and I love it, man. It's just like high school. You know, you invite the girl over, you turn on the movie, turn the lights off, and there's no expectation for you to see the whole movie. You know, next thing you know, she's just gobbling you. It's just slobbing on your knob, bro. You know what I'm saying? SY, let's keep it going. CYTX. 13.5% on CYTX. 50-cent stock. Nice little trend here since the January. Almost, yeah, up 100% since January 1st. Not bad. Yeah. Said calls for a higher price. Now puts are saying it will be lower. Well, Jeff, what stock are you talking about? Hulu needs an IPO? Yeah, I don't know what a Hulu IPO would look like, though. I mean, you know, Hulu seems like the low-budget Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Hulu seems like the low-budget Netflix. And Hulu is for, like, you know, like broke guys with PS4s and only have like $20 on their like PS4 account, on their PlayStation account or some shit like that. Or who can't afford to put any money on their PlayStation account. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at Hulu, bro. That's like, you know. Yeah, oh yeah, dude, she was gobbling me, bro. Like, just, you know, that's what I love about my show. You know what I mean? Like, you go on you know, something like one of these, like Plenty of Fish or some crap like that, and you know, and you know me, I'm always looking for a chick with like a huge rack, you know. So I'm looking at it, I'm flipping through and like, oh god, look, damn, she's got a big ass rack. So anyway, I send her a message or whatever, and you know, I only send one message, or you know, sometimes I'll send two. She's like, if she's got really big tits, I'm like, I need those fucking tits. So I'll send another message. She's like, oh hey, you know, well and my goal on POF is or any dating site is to get to the phone number as soon as possible. You need to get to her phone number, and it just goes back to sales. Always be closing. You need that number. Give me that phone number. 919, I think it was Bats. Call me back up, Bats. I'm so distracted. Let me get back to the stocks before I get somebody complain. But you know, about online dating is about getting to that phone number, right? As soon as possible. You know, if she bullshits you on the phone number, she's just playing games. So I got her phone number when I called her up, you know. And let me get to the call. 919 Bats. What's up, man?
Hey Sal, how you doing?
Doing good. What's up, bro?
Yeah, nothing much. I'm traveling this week, so didn't get to trade today. Was actually pretty upset to see ATOS going up because I know I tweeted about it over the weekend. I was really watching it and liked the pattern. But anyway, I mean, there's always time to trade, but just been busy in the lab at a customer site here in New Jersey.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So I've got a few things here I need to talk about. So as you know from my tweets, I'm starting to look to go into options trading. I'm really going to be, for the time being, maybe just working on my long call options. It suits my trading style because I'm really looking for companies that, you know, have hit a new low, or with low RSI stocks. I'm looking for the reversal.
Okay.
And definitely Mr. Lloyd was right. I mean, with Ford, I was definitely looking to get into that.
Yeah.
The only problem with Ford options call, it looked good after Friday, where it looked like it was teasing the 200 moving average, but then today it gapped down. So in this case, it's always good to definitely look for continuation. Maybe after you get your first signal that says you might be reversing, maybe after the close of the second day, you can get, into that stock. So Ford, I'll definitely be looking at that. I think for me, it needs to break the 200 simple moving average, which is now around 1170 or close to that.
Yeah.
So if it continues to go down, obviously there's about, I think, the $10.50 price. But if it starts going back up, I'd rather be more certain and first have it break the 200. So with that in mind, I've got a few other options plays. So these are, for me, I like these ones that I'm going to state, because if I had a lot of money and I was just going into conventional, just buying the stock itself, I would get into these. The first one I've got is GameStop, which is GME.
Mm-hmm. GameStop. Oh, so GameStop, you would play long or short here on GameStop?
Oh, long for sure. Yeah, we've already got. Let me take a look at it quickly. We already had, those hammer signals with the relatively long lower shadows, implying that a bottom might have been hit. So we had Friday looked pretty good. Today is another green day, and it's looking like it might actually cross the 8 EMA probably tomorrow at about 1735, 1739-ish, around there. So this is looking really good, and this looks like it can at least reverse to, somewhere in the 19s, maybe 20. So this would be, I'm looking at kind of call options that I can play with a 2-week to 1 month expiration, just to give the stocks enough time to reverse if they're truly reversing. So at this stage, I think I'd be comfortable with the 2 to 4 week time frame.
Yeah.
If they go up in, less than 2 weeks or 1 week, that's fine. But it's harder to call something will move significantly in 1 week, because I've noticed with some of these stocks that oscillate between a top and a bottom, it might be more than the 5 days required for moving under a week. That's kind of pushing it, unless you know something or it's extremely bullish. So that's GameStop. The next one is Gilead. Gilead has been really representing nicely over the last 3 weeks, actually.
And Bass, what's the ticker for that?
Oh, sorry, GILD, Gilead.
All right, the
So
pharmaceutical
this
giant.
stock was beat down pretty hard, like several months ago, back in the middle of last year, trading as low as like in the 60s. But you can see actually from this year, actually, it's gone up from $71 all the way to $88.
Yeah, it looks like
And
you
with
had
this in
some opportunity in November to buy it at oversold levels too. Interesting.
Yes, exactly. So this is kind of like, you talk about bread and butter stocks with pharmaceutical companies that are, actively traded. When they do crash, you need to look for the reversal on these, because people will always trade this. So this is one to watch. I'm obviously looking at the break of $90. If it breaks $90, I'd be bullish on it. But it has had, a good, week and a half, 2 weeks of, bullish activity. So this is good. And it did have, somewhat of a bull flag breakout coming first on Friday and then today. So that's Gilead. Then there's, of course, the infamous VRX or Valiant, VRX, Canadian pharmaceutical company. This one, once again, bread and butter, is actively traded. They were the ones that were hit by, a lot of lawsuits across different states for their relationship with, I can't remember what healthcare other company that they were doing business with, but they were hit really hard by it. I think Bernie Sanders brought them basically down by criticizing them along the lines of price gouging and just conflicts of interest. So this is one to watch because it's really had a stormer of 3 months starting, like in November and start November in about the $10-11 range, and now as high as $24, pulling back to $19. But this one, once again, if you put in moving average, use commonly viewed moving averages like the 50, the 100, the 200, and use that as a gauge. Look at the past year or 2 or 3 and look to see levels of support and resistance with these common moving averages. So obviously with this one, the $20, which is where the 50 moving average is, you want to look out for that. If you're using other indicators like CCI that I talked about last week, which is the commodity channel index, you want to look for key index levels being hit by CCI. So you notice this one is really low. Let me just say in a nutshell, for CCI, you're looking at going up from breaking minus 100, breaking 0, and breaking 100. Those are the 3 levels you should concern yourself with. So if it's heavily undersold, it's going to be under minus 100. And by the way, you can use this for day trading. Works wonders. My tweet on ATOS shows exact buy signals where you could have gone in simply using CCI. So you're looking at the break upwards of minus 100, 0, and plus 100. Those can all be 3 buy signals. So VRX right now is sitting at negative like 140. You could wait for this to break 100. If it breaks negative 100, you can get into that stock, either just buying the stock outright or just getting a call option on it as it buys CCI. Because like you mentioned last week, CCI or the commodity channel index is a leading indicator, shows you buying pressure whenever buying pressure is strong or weak. So this is a very good indicator, very visual, very easy to use. Let me quickly go because I've got a lot of options, but let me get into the common ones. WYNN, when you talked about that, obviously, the CEO was implicated in the sexual misconduct scandal. It's been a falling knife since then, but once again, this is actively traded. A lot of people have eyes on this. You really want to look for the reversal in this. Right now, what I see for WYNN is it seems to be flirting with that 50 moving average, 50 simple moving average. It's slightly below that. If you do see a reversal past that 50, so we're talking at about, let's say, I don't know, the 166 price. If it blows past that, I would say that's safe enough to then get in for the reversal on that. But it does have to show a pattern of reversal. BUD, so Anheuser-Busch, this one also is looking good on the chart. We see where it experienced a gap down. Once again, it looks like it's trying to come through the 50 simple moving average. As soon as it passes there, there's a nice chance.
Bass, what's the ticker for that? Is it NAH or something like that? BUDFF?
BUD.
Let me see here.
That's Anheuser-Busch, the beer company.
Yeah, I have okay, so it is. Okay, I don't know. The Belgium part. Okay, I had it right, but so it's an ADR, right? I see here it's an ADR?
Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, it is. But this one, once again, had a really, really, good day volume-wise, although it did come from the bottom. But once again, using, the 50 moving average, I think this one would be safe to get into past about, let me say, I don't know, maybe 114 would be safe. 114, you can buy, once it passes 114 or flirts with that, you can buy an in the money option call for that, or at the money, or whatever is available. So that one would be good, and then just give it 2 weeks to 3 weeks or something like that to be bullish. So I'm looking at that one as well. The next one, Delta Airlines, DAL. I'm liking the reversal on that one, DAL. Once again, all of these ones I'm talking about, for whatever reason, seem to be flirting with that 50 simple moving average on the daily chart. So you saw that on Thursday, Delta had that big drop, and then when you have one red day, and then within that you have a smaller red day, that's actually called a bullish homing pigeon candlestick signal. Doesn't work a lot of the time. It's not one of those commonly occurring ones, but it is a bullish candlestick pattern to look for on continuation. As you can see today, it had an opening Marubotsu white candlestick where it opened at the price. The price's low was the same as the open, and it's trying to work its way back up, essentially past that $55 mark. So this one is looking good. Pretty much, I think United Continental last week released some negative news that brought all the airlines down.
Right.
But once again, I would look at all the airlines because that's only a temporary drop. So look for reversal in all the major airlines, essentially. My last one is Procter & Gamble, PG. This one has had a bad 5 days, terrible 5 days.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's trying to come back to a former support level of around about $86. So it's either going to bounce off around the $86 mark, or it's going to maybe start reversing now. It all depends. What you're looking for is a bullish candle going into tomorrow that is then confirmed by the next day. And the beauty about these expensive stocks is that, it doesn't move significant enough to where, like, you're not going to get, unless there's a catalyst, you're not going to get like a $10, $15 move, in one go. It's going to be more like you're talking about a $1 to $2 move at the most, but maybe 50 cents to $1. So even though it looks really negative right now, Procter & Gamble, just like Colgate, Palmolive, CL, these are very actively traded stocks by people with good money. And actually, CL, Colgate, Palmolive, once again, it's hugging the 200 simple moving average. This would be brilliant. What we see today on CL, Colgate, Palmolive, is a bullish tweezer bottom. This one actually looks pretty convincing. I might actually pick this one over Procter & Gamble, since there's actually no signal today saying that there will be a bullish reversal. But Colgate, Palmolive, CL, it's looking really good with those two buck teeth, as I call them, and they're happening, especially if they're happening on a simple moving average, especially the 200. So that one would make an excellent call option. CL, Colgate Palmolive on the CCI is around negative 140, around there. Once again, if you want to be more definitive that this may be reversing, because it's below minus 100, wait for it to blow past minus 100 and get in at that point, and then see. But a lot of these indicators, they really, really need to be used in comparison, in conjunction. You see the RSI looks like it's also bouncing off, going in the upward direction. But if you're hesitant to get into this immediately, just wait for it on the CCI to blow past minus 100. Sorry, very long, very long, what am I saying? very long call today, but yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy getting into options, because if you can read charts and you can, you can use your ability to read charts to get into options, I think you can be met with a lot of success.
Absolutely.
So looking forward to start that soon, and and I appreciate it. Last but not least, I just tweeted. It's more of a joke, but it's funny. There's that Tupac song on All Eyes on Me on the double disc. The song it's called All About You, and it's got Snoop Dogg in it. Essentially, it's talking about, every other city we go, even on the radio, it's talking about they see the same H.O. in all these, music videos and stuff. And after I
sing it, Bats.
You know what? It sounds like the same way I look for stocks to trade. Look for stocks that are in every video. If Sal talks about it, if David from Investors Hangout talks about it, if Connor talks about it, Tim Sykes, Clay Trader, Ross Cameron, you want to look for stocks like that, either to the upside or downside. Listen to that song, guys. All About You on the All Eyes on Me album. The Snoop Dogg verse, particularly, because he mentions about all these babes being in all these people's videos. This is exactly how you trade stocks. You have to look for the popularly traded stocks, that the most actively talked about stocks. So I'll leave it at that.
There it is, Bats. Thank you so much for the call, as always, man.
All right, no problem. Take care, Sal.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
indeed. Shout out to Bats also. Awesome call. My time with you guys always goes so quickly, man. But I don't want the show to be too long, man. Because at the end of the day, I still got things I got to do and stuff like that. But always goes by really, 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 really fast. I know we put out a lot of information. This is earnings season, so we're going to talk a lot about options right now, because there's just so much money to be made this time of the year. And if you're not on that, you really need to be on that. Obviously, if you don't want to play the option, you can play stocks as well. There's some tickers that are going to be announcing that you can play stocks in as well. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, a 3% move or a 4% move, obviously means a lot more on the option side. But profit is profit if you can afford it on the stock side as well. So, make sure to participate. Make sure to participate. All right. I'll leave the story for tomorrow. Just, I don't know, in the chat room, hit me up with the code word. I don't know, nut gurgler or something like that. Or, I don't know, something like that. And I'll remember what we're talking about. All right. But I don't want to keep you guys any longer, man. So let me go ahead and ring the bell. Where it's at here. Appreciate all of you. Yeah, get that McDonald's tomorrow. Press like on this video. Hit up my Black Box Stocks link in the description. Take advantage of that $79 because I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to go up, man. It's going to go up. So you want to be able to get in now and make some money on that now. So when it does go up, you got paper, so it won't matter. Appreciate you, Corey Kwan. Stockenfeller said you missed the 4-hour show. Oh, shit. Wake up in the morning and throat sore as fuck. Silver Fox, thank you, man. Gucci, appreciate you. He said you need 1 more hour. Hammer Beer, Ricardo, appreciate you, man. Rob Stratton, Future Work Express, Andrew Gladness, thank you so much, sir. Hey, Andrew, text me at my number because I got a new number now, man. So I know you got one of my numbers. I got a new number here, so I got to hit you up with that. Mace Engel, R.W. Perry, D-Rock. Who else is in here, man? Shout out to all my callers. Mitch, Kenny Dutton. Appreciate you, Kenny. J Life. Bad Sciences, of course. Deion Jackson. Yeah, we talked POTN. That's still a good one. It's selling off a little bit. People taking some profits, but it's still a long-term winner. Michael Black, appreciate you. Donzel Essex, thank you, sir. All my callers, Mr. Lloyd, Ken. Shout out to all the people in the chat room. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, bro. Happy trading. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you, John. John Rambo. Appreciate you, bro. Till tomorrow, guys. Take care.